We're going to head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason one more time.
Hello, Browns Nation. I go back as far as the Bill Nelson days with Paul Warfield and the Gary Collins run of the famous post. My issue is with the Browns front office. The Browns front office said they want their players to be tough and accountable. Well, the front office need to be tough and accountable. They knew for 3 years that Woods is not a championship defensive coordinator, but still, 3 years later, we still have him, and they decided to let the whole season go for Joe Woods. Just ruined this season, and it's very disappointing. My problems with the front office. Thank you.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. I get G. Bush. I'm kind of with you. I wanted to give him the chance to get his players in, but we've seen that, and I've seen that play. I don't like how it ends.
No, yeah, like now, but now listen, I'm with everybody. Under no stretch of the imagination, he's getting no redo. If they go in and try to sell you on, well, it really wasn't Joe again, it was his players. Well, then you have to go back and say, well, okay, well, it may not be Joe's play calling, but what it might be is Joe's evaluation. Because I'm sure they went to Joe Woods and said, hey, what do you like about this player? What don't you like about the player? Who's on your list of players that you would like to contact or draft? I'm sure they had these conversations. So I don't think he's going to get that, and I don't think Joe Woods will be back with the team. But for me, as a person who looked at it, and I was hot too, I was mad and upset. Why didn't you get D tackles? Why didn't you prioritize why aren't we blitzing? Why are we doing all those other things? It's because they've prioritized and they've made some decisions, and the decisions were. I'm sure they were tough ones, and watch, mark my words. I'll probably come back on here. We'll be in the off season or something, and Kevin Stefanski or Andrew Berry will let on or give you guys a little nugget and say, we always kind of knew it was going to be a uphill battle when Deshaun was out for the majority of the year, and as an organization. We were still wanted to be competitive, but, you also have to be realistic in understanding that, given the way the AFC looked and some of the climate, we couldn't really pivot and change our philosophy overnight. We couldn't really pivot and bring in other people with the cap and different things. So we just decided that, we were probably going to be less competitive than we were. And obviously we didn't want that, but it's just the cards that we were given. And we believed it was the better choice to still go out there and trade those picks to get a franchise quarterback because we think Deshaun is, and you saw it at the end of the year. Now, if he plays well and he throws up some points and they win some games, that whole speech I just gave you is stomachable, right? But if he goes out there and, tries hard because he hasn't played in 3 years and he pulls a hamstring and misses 4 out of the last 6 games, that is going to be a nightmare to talk about because your pick is going over there. Then you got to re-amp people up, and that's going to be a tough sell. So the best thing for them, Deshaun is good enough to save them for a little bit of time. They just have to hope he plays well.